Okay, recording's going.
Yes, recording has started.
Okay.
Thank you everyone for joining. Happy New Year, and we'll get started.
Okay, I'm call to order at 1:06 p.m. Have we got welcome to everybody, and I hope everybody's having a happy New Year. Are there any comments from the public? Okay, hearing none. We need item number 3 is review and approve the minutes for the meeting held on November 9th, 2025. Comments on the minutes? Motion approved, please. Somebody can make a motion.
Move to approve.
Okay, I got 2 moves to approve. I need 1 second.
I'll second.
Okay, thank you. Any discussion? All in favor of the minutes as written, say aye.
Aye. Aye.
Aye.
Any opposed, say aye. Motion passes. We're going to skip to item 6, AECOM. Discussion and take action is needed on technical memo test 4B. Go ahead, Travis.
At this point, we can proceed. Otherwise, Jeff Bennett is still having audio issues and is unable to hear. So I'm going to try and get him added to this before we move on.
Okay. I think we actually had 8 or 9, so I think we're okay, but
No, I'm unable to add him in.
okay.
Okay, so the draft tech memo was completed a week ago. About 2 weeks ago, we sent out a previous draft to the RFPG members on this call and attendees of this meeting for you to review. We received several comments, mainly about table numbering and some clarification locations on what it came to work areas versus watershed areas to be able to clarify those abbreviations. We have since incorporated those comments as well as the comments that Gisela made on the task 2 memo into the full technical memorandum. That was posted a week ago for public comment. Since posting this for public comment, AECOM has not received any additional comments on the tech memo. If there are any questions or any discussions or any comments that you would like to give now, we can note those and get those included for the submittal. It should be noted that the submittal date is January 7th, so on Wednesday.
This cuts things a little short, doesn't it?
Yes, it
Okay.
does.
Do we have anybody with comments?
I didn't have any comments. I sat in, Travis went over everything kind of in I guess a workshop, you'd call it, Travis, a week ago or so. He went through it. I didn't have anything in addition to what he already had highlighted and was gonna work on this week prior, so I'm good.
Anybody else?
Mr. Bennett. Yeah, I fixed my up. You. Okay, thank you, Mr. Bennett.
With no other comments, I'd like to have somebody make a motion to accept the Technica memo for task to meet the requirements of task 4B.
I'll make a motion.
Okay, who was that?
Levi Bryan.
Okay, thanks, Levi. We have a second?
I'll second it.
Is that Gisela?
Yes.
Okay, we have a motion and a second. Is there any discussion, any further discussion? Okay, I want to see hands up for those that are visible. Hands up for approval, please. Okay, anybody? Let's go, guys. Okay, I guess we say, let's go for approve. Approve, say aye.
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 Okay, that was enough. Any opposed? Motion passes. Let's go back now to item 4, Texas Water Development Board. Nick?
Alrighty. I do have a couple updates and then I have a presentation. I didn't know if with limited time if there's any other items y'all are needing to get done beforehand. So I'd give y'all the option before moving forward.
You can go ahead and do your presentation. I think we're okay on time.
Okay, sounds good. I'll give the updates and then I'll do the presentation. The technical memo is due to the board on January 7th, 2026 and requires a 7-day public notice. We've already talked about this. Y'all just approved it, so I do not have to give that update anymore. A chair-led conference call was held on December 3rd to discuss regional approaches to Task 5B. The video and presentation slides have been posted to the website. Chairman Acosta was there, as well as Travis Brand and Luis all day. And if anybody wants that link, I can also put it in the chat for y'all if y'all would like to watch the video or get the presentation itself. Just let me know either in the chat or verbally. I'd be happy to do that. And then lastly, there was a newsletter that was sent out on 11/18/2025. It summarizes the flood planning updates between August and November. And then let me get the presentation up for y'all. Here.
Okay, we've got it, Nick.
Great. It wants to go to slideshow. Can you, it went to presenter view. There we go. Come on. Apologies. We'll just walk through them. How about that? And I will, oh, it's doing it on my other monitor. Apologies. How do I get it to stop doing that? Okay, well, we will walk through it like a regular talk. Just hide the notes so this is bigger. Okay, so good afternoon. I'll be talking and covering the TWB flood management evaluations or FMEs for small communities effort. So moving right into it. So on October 2nd, the TWB board heard agenda item number 5, which authorized TWB to negotiate and execute contracts with third-party consultants to perform flood management evaluation studies as selected by the regional flood planning groups to support the regional flood planning process. The RFPGs provide the order of timing of how they would like the FMEs to be performed by TWB within the list. Once a preliminary list of recommended FMEs to be performed by TWB is developed, using the considerations which are listed on the next slide, the RFPG will approve the list of recommended FMEs at a regular RFPG meeting. While also producing this list of FMEs for TWB to perform, the RFPG will be kept up to date on the progress of the FME along with the FME sponsor. This is to be an inclusive effort where TWB is not the main entity, but rather helping the RFPG to further their progress. And then from Exhibit C, page 81, that is where we're using the table of recommended FMEs prepared under Task A. For this task, RFPGs are expected to prioritize FMEs for small and rural communities that lack the resources and staff to develop, perform, and review FMEs independently. Beyond this requirement, the RFPGs have flexibility in recommending the list of FMEs to be performed by TWB, which may include considerations for emergency need, social vulnerability, available community resources, and scope. The RFPG will provide the order of timing of how they would like the FMEs to be performed by TWB within the list. Once a preliminary list of recommended FMEs is to be performed by TWB is developed using the considerations listed above, the RFPG will approve the list of recommended FMEs at a regular RFPG meeting, as stated previously. And moving on to requirements. So RFPGs are to come up with clear criteria with an example like population, AMHI, staff resources, which are then used for defining FMEs for their region to be performed by TWB, have it approved by each region, and provide it to TWB themselves. The definition that we have used as a benchmark is the fifth IUP 2024-2025 rural applicant definition. This definition is not a set in stone definition, as we know that varying degrees of rural in Texas. Something from Region 6 is not going to be as applicable to Region 14. So when we're thinking about rural definitions and when y'all are coming up with that, please keep in mind that it is a region specific and it is up to y'all to figure out what that is. And we will accept whatever y'all do decide. The budget, as you can see, is a $59 million budget that is to be spread over 5 years, with each RFPG receiving $3.9 million for their 5-year cycle. This budget is to be used as the region sees fit. The FMX one-pagers have already been added to the RFPG website, and the FME one-pager that is live on TWB website is the same that will be used by the FME Small Communities effort. The scope of work and community affirmation form will be sent out later. That is actually already on the website, I believe. And then the goal with this effort is for these FMEs to be drag and drop once completed and approved by the RFPG to be directly input into the draft RFP with little to no effort on the technical consultant's part. So as I said previously, the goal is to have 2 FMEs started, analyzed, and completed within the RFPG cycle for cycle 2, so that they can make the draft regional flood plan. To meet this tight timeline, TWB is requesting the RFPG to rank and select 2 FMEs that they would like TWB conduct first and complete and be included in the RFP. The other FMEs will be the base for where TWB will be pulling from for future evaluations, but the RFPG is the one dictating the order and priority in which this will be completed. Due on March 26, 2026, is the ranked list of the FMEs for the region in the standalone Exhibit C, Table 19. Updated FME feature classes, the FME one-pager, the scope of work for only the first 2 FMEs, and the community affirmation forms also for only the first 2 FMEs. Then, due on April 24th, 2026, the scope of work for all FMEs on the FME list will need the scope of work filled in and the budget breakdown created. The scope of work and budget breakdown needs to be filled out and completed by this date. However, both items do not need to be 100% fleshed out, as there will be ample time before they are selected and brought up to be completed for them to be amended and reworked. One thing to note on the community affirmation form is that number 3 on the form requires the RFPG to get in writing that the community from the community that the community does not have the resources to perform the study and will benefit from state funding. This is required for the FME to proceed. Moving on. Here's the proposed timeline that we currently have set. January 7th, 2026, tech memo submission deadline. TWB then confirms receipt. There's a 30-day review period for TWB, and then TWB accepts notice to proceed or rejects tech memo. On March 26, 2026, list of FMEs submitted to the TWB, and then April 24th, like I said earlier, scope of works for FMEs submitted to TWB. We then have the task orders are executed with TWB consultants in May 2026, where the RFPG will also have time to get be updated. Then we have the midpoint update again for tech consultants to the RFPGs, where questions and comments can happen. We have on February 2027 the FME draft report completed and ready for official comment and review by RFPGs with the identified FMPs included. Finally, we have on April 26, 2027, the FME final reports are sent to the RFPGs for inclusion into the draft 2028 RFP. These FME final reports will be drag and drop, as stated earlier, as we saw and knew that this process may require additional effort and aimed at minimizing as much additional work as possible. The things that we would like to highlight and emphasize is that for the FME small communities effort, that the project scope should be prioritized for ones that can be completed in less than a year, fit within the budget allocated to the RFPG, and fit the study scope and are proportionate to the study size. Finally, the first two FMEs only. Finally, for the first two FMEs only, if TWDB and acquired tech consultants determine that the FME cannot be completed during the cycle, the FME will be skipped and the next FME in the rank list will be selected. This is why when considering ranking the FMEs, it is imperative that ranking is a major portion, as this is the ranking that will guide the process going forward. This is the first time that we are doing something like this, and there will be bound to be things that arise or issues that need to be corrected. Comments from RFPG voting membership and continued feedback from RFPGs are vital to make this process as streamlined and effective as possible. TWB is not the ones conducting these studies, but rather assisting the RFPG with furthering their goals and identifying flood risk for communities that lack the resources. If there are any questions, I'd be happy to answer them now. I would also note that details besides what was discussed has not been published, but will be published here soon. And those details I might not know yet, but I'd be happy to notate the questions and get back to everybody at the next RPG meeting or via email, whichever you prefer. With that, I will also say the 5 technical consultants have been selected, which are ACOM, HAF, EDGE, HDR, and F&I. They have not been doled out or have not been finalized on who's going to be taking what region, but that will be selected and then dispersed out when we do get that selection criteria nailed down. Does anybody have any questions about what I presented? I know it was a lot. So
I do. So on the funding, it's 59 million for 5 years, and that's distributed among all the regions. Is that what you said, or is it 3.9 million per region?
it's 3.9 million per region, but is a $59 million budget. I believe some of that. I don't know how it is doled out for the rest of it, but I do know each region gets $3.9 million for the first cycle.
Okay, and this is for the smaller communities, right? So is there a possibility that they're also going to be able to get 100% grant funding for construction? Because if they're not able to do the FME evaluation, then what's going to happen once their projects come up for construction? Have you heard anything on that?
That I do not know. So the whole idea behind this is that we're trying to make these FMEs into FMPs, which then get ranked in the state flood plan, which then become eligible for funding. After that, I do not know if FME for small communities becomes a ranked criteria, if that is from that or what have you. I believe that is a discussion for future, but at this moment, I don't believe I have an answer for that. But I will notate it, and I can get back to you, Gisela, at the next meeting if you'd like.
Okay, thank you, Nick. Appreciate it.
Yeah.
Travis, I just have one question. Do we have a good definition within our Region 14 for rural? Since Nick was talking about each of us defining rural on our own?
Yeah, so what he was talking about is the current FIF definition of rural. Luis and I were able to review it, and they had a chair discussion on it. The current description would only not include the city of El Paso, the city of Socorro, and the city of San Elizario. All other communities in Region 14 would qualify as rural, unless the RFPG chooses to adopt stricter guidelines and remove communities from that discussion. There's no need to change it at this point. If you guys want to, that's totally fine. Luis and I discussed that. We have a couple recommendations that we'll put forward in the future. But at this time, given that the RFPG is the one proposing this, you guys can, go through the communities and the FME proposals and pick them at your convenience without officially adopting any sort of actual increased standards for the definition of rural.
Okay, Nick, do we have to formally approve that, or is that something that's already in place then?
You have to formally approve the definition, but it does not have to change from what was already there. You just have to specify what you are adopting. So whenever it does come up to the board, whenever y'all are voting on it, it just needs to state exactly what y'all are going to be approving.
Okay, let's make a point of putting that on the agenda for the next meeting then. Okay, good.
Yes, we
Anybody
have
else
that,
have
and Luis and I have
any
been
comments for
putting it
Nick?
together.
Okay, thanks, Travis. Okay. I don't think we have anything else to do with that presentation then. Nick, I wanted to ask, do you have any new dates for Chair's Call?
I don't have one off the top of my head, but as soon as I find out, I will send a email blast. I know the flood planning email usually sends one out to the voting membership, but I will also send out a separate email directly to the voting membership as well, stating when that was, or
Okay.
when the next one will be.
Okay, thanks, Nick.
Yeah.
The next item, item 5 on the list is the Rio Cog discussion and updates on voting member vacancies.
Yes, thank you again, everyone, for hopping on today's call. Today we were hoping to be able to include Isadora Garcia and Dr. Palmate as proper voting members. However, me being new to this process, I overlooked the process and the bylaws. So the bylaws actually state executive committee needs to process the nominations and recommend nominees to the voting membership as a whole. So I have updated the group on the nominees that we have, being Ms. Isadora Garcia. Thank you, Ms. Garcia, for being on the call today, as well as Dr. Palmate. For some unfortunate reason, we do not have Dr. Palmate in attendance today. I'm assuming he might have traveled and did not make it back in time. So maybe that's
Aaron. He is
I'm
online
here
right now.
online.
There. Thank you, Dr. Palmate, for being on. I missed that. So basically, after this meeting, we have to have a quick committee or executive committee meeting to process the nominees to the voting membership as a whole, so that they can properly be on the group as voting members. So basically, for your homework from now and then, where we have that executive committee meeting to process you both to voting membership, if you can also provide proxies for yourself, so that when we do properly have you in case you do not make a meeting, you have someone to fill in your absence. So if we can work on that, and then if you guys can provide that information, and we'll get this properly processed. Thank you all for your all's understanding. I greatly appreciate it. Sorry about that.
Sure. So your intent is to have people stand by that are on the executive committee and
Well-
do it now after the meeting's over?
Um,
Or call the executive committee before the next meeting?
Yes, we'll call an executive committee before the next.
Before
meeting.
the next?
Yes,
meeting.
sir.
Okay, that's best.
Yes.
Okay, plenty of advice then. Okay,
Thank you, everyone.
okay. Down to item 7, unless I skipped something, I guess I didn't. Discussion of next general meeting, meeting date. I noticed those 2 FMEs are due by 26 March with the statements of work along with them. So Travis, when do you need the next meeting?
Ideally, pretty quick. I would like to get 1 or 2 meetings before that, that date, that approval date, if possible. It should also be said that they have a pretty solid scope of work template that they've used for FMEs in the past. So the issue is more getting your approval of the definition of rural for the RFPG, and then any rounds of discussion that you guys want to have when it comes to which ones you want to prioritize. We have a pretty solid list of FMEs that have been identified both in the previous cycle and this cycle that are included with the technical memorandum. So most of the discussion is going to be around, is there ones that you guys want to prioritize, any ranking criteria that you guys want to use internally?
Okay, so is there a week in January and a week in February If we did eat one in each of those, would that be good for you?
That
For a
would,
do,
yes.
is there any specific week that's bad for anybody that's in our quorum? Okay, what weeks work for you, Travis?
Let me review this quick. Let me see. If we do the last week in January and the second to last week in February, when is the water in the desert date? I was requested to avoid that date.
February 12th.
February 12th. So that would be the second week of February. Yeah, so if we did one the last week of January and the second to last week of February.
Okay, we'll get it. We'll have Aaron.
Okay, hold on.
Okay,
I have a seepage run on the Pecos River that week of February. Are you talking about the second to last week?
whatever ones you need.
No, I'm looking at Jeff Bennett's comments in the chat.
Oh, okay, all right. So that, how about is the second week in February the third from last? I guess it is, because February is only going to be 4 weeks.
Yeah, so we're looking at, let me see, the week
So last-
of January 26th and the week of February, that would be 16th.
So you're looking at the week of 26 January,
No, sorry, 23rd.
23 January, okay?
23rd February.
26
No,
Jan.
I'm
and
sorry.
I got
16th.
26 January and 23 February week.
16th in February, the week of the 16th in February.
16 February. Okay, so 26 Jan, 16 Feb, those weeks we'll have a doodle poll sent out and see what
Okay.
days are best for everybody during that week. Okay, looking good.
So is this scheduling one meeting or scheduling two meetings?
2 meetings,
Okay,
one the week of the 26th of January and one the week of the 16th of February,
understood.
2 different weeks.
Okay,
Okay, and then the agenda to include that definition
yes, sir.
approval. Okay.
Mhm.
Okay,
And for the executive committee, how many members do we need?
I think there's 4. How many people are on the executive? 4, I think.
Okay,
I think there's just 4.
okay,
I'm not sure how many it was. You can check in the bylaws.
okay. This is my first go around with executive committee type of things. So I just want to make sure, this is my first go around with executive committee type of facilitating.
Just look at the bylaws.
Okay, got
Okay. And we probably do it an hour prior.
I'm sorry?
Do it 1 hour prior. So you do the executive committee and then the meeting an hour later.
Oh, you want to have it the same day?
Yeah,
Okay,
yeah, that's convenient for everybody. Then we just come on and do it and then continue into the regular meeting.
understood.
Okay. Any other comments from anybody in the group? Javier, any comments?
I'm just getting.
No, I saw Nick had a comment.
Okay,
I just wanted to clarify for the executive committee, it's just the chair, vice chair, secretary, and 2 voting members at large. So that's 5 members in total.
Yeah,
Fine.
I'm barely getting any.
Thanks, Nick.
I
Yeah.
work every now and then.
And I think we have them identified, so we know who they are. Any other comments from anybody? Any comments from the public now that we're ready to adjourn? Okay, thank you. Can I get a motion to adjourn, please?
I'll make a motion. Levi Bryan.
Levi, I'll second. We have a motion and a second. Any discussion? Probably not. Okay, all approved, say aye, please.
Aye.
I,
Okay. And anybody opposed? All right, thanks. Motion passes. Everybody have a good new year. Thanks a lot.
Thank you all.
Thank you.
Thank
Bye.
you.
Bye, thank you.
Bye-bye.
Oh, there's Javier's picture finally. Hey,
Hey, thanks for helping run this, Dave.
oh, you're welcome. No problem. I'm always enjoy. It's fun to do.
Yeah, I should
Thanks
be
for-
able to make the next ones in person, so
Okay, excellent. Thanks.
thank you.
Yep. Thanks for all your help, Travis.
Yeah, glad to help. We'll be sending out some more stuff. So Aaron, I'll be reaching out to you and Gisela about the signed notes to get included with the upload.